Happy Halloween, listeners! Join us as we discuss the top 10 spookiest characters in all of Star Wars. All that today on Cheddar Squadron. And metal. Yeah. Some of them are metal.
I love your costume, by the way, my friend.
Thank you. I love your costume as well.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chatter Squadron, your weekly dose of Star Wars fun, positivity, and spookiness. My name is Tyler Buck, sat across from Mike Calhoun. Mike Calhoun. And Tyler Books.
Starting off strong.
Happy Halloween, everybody. I was about to say happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Well, I like to do that. I actually do like to tell people happy holidays whenever a holiday comes around.
4th of July, happy holidays. There has to be another holiday somewhere near then, too.
Around 4th of July?
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. It's 2 months prior. So it'd be...
It's in the vicinity.
Yeah, so it'd be Feliz Holidays.
Sí, señor. Gracias.
¿Cómo estás? Oh, okay.
Muchos
Muy
queso.
Oh, muy bien. Me gusta.
Hey, let's not scare people with our prowess in other languages.
You're right.
Today is Calhoun's Halloween party. I was going to say Christmas party.
Oh, my
Dang
goodness.
It.
Yeah.
Take it away, Calhoun. Talk about your party.
It's a Halloween costume party today, and so everyone's coming over right as we speak. They're on their way.
Oh, I hear them. I hear
do you?
sleigh bells.
Are they tingling?
Yeah, I hear
in the lane.
Reindeer.
The Halloween trick-or-treaters are coming to my party. They're gonna have no tea. I don't know how to finish this song.
Wow.
Oh, that worked.
That was amazing.
You're welcome.
I am dressed as John Ralphio from Parks and Recreation, and it's not that fun. I had to shave my face. And
You look like a different person.
My hair is like gigantic.
It's a poof.
Yeah. And
looks great.
I have a fanny pack on, which is...
And a beautiful scarf.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. My dad bought it for me.
Oh,
and my fanny pack is actually really useful.
Is it? What do you have in it presently?
Currently, nothing, but...
Oh, so not even any good improv ideas.
Inside of it? Well, let me tell you here. There's a portal to the... Okay. Over to you, Calhoun.
Right.
Oh, what's inside of here? Well, not good improv.
No,
Calhoun, what are you wearing today?
I am dressed as Daryl Hall from the iconic American musical duo Hall & Oates.
So I'm filling it. John Ralphio is filling in for Oates right now.
Yeah, he would be a good fit. He's got
you
that
make
poofy.
my dreams.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
I'd have to like push you away from the microphone because you'd just be hogging it.
That would make a really good show. Hall and
Daryl Hall and John Ralphio.
yeah, Hall and Ralphio.
So first of all, I'm not going to say no. That's a yes idea. I will go with that.
Yes, and
And
that amazing hair you have today. You were able to pull improv out of that.
it's the volume. I hide my ideas in there.
So this is a shorter episode today. This is coming out the day before Halloween, and then on Halloween, an article I wrote is going to be coming out. But we're going to be talking about that article right now. But first, I want to go over to kind of give. Not condolences. That's so bad to say.
Yeah.
To give well wishes to John Williams.
Mm-hmm. We learned during this week. Sorry, I took over for a moment. We learned this week that he was taken to the hospital. Mm-hmm. We don't know whether it was an emergency,
right?
But he was in the hospital, and as we know, remains there.
The biggest thing was that people knew this happened because he pulled out of shows.
Yeah.
That he was. I'm realizing now I have sunglasses on, so I'm going to take those off. He pulled out of shows he was supposed to be conducting. And that's how people knew that he was not, doing well. And then reports came that he was taken to the hospital. So we don't know. And that was days ago, even at this point when we're recording on Saturday. So who knows? Maybe we know by the time this episode comes out. But well wishes, not condolences. Not putting that out there,
right.
Universe. I'm talking to you. Well wishes to John Williams. But condolences are in order for the Boba Fett film. Did you hear about this?
I just spoke to. No, I did not hear about this.
Yeah.
This is new news to
This
me.
it's So this is from the Star Wars Hub. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy confirms that Boba Fett film is dead. But this is what's strange. I'll kind of jump through what is being said here. That last night during a special awards season screening of the Black Panther, which Kennedy was attending, Eric Weber, a Critics' Choice Association journalist, reportedly asked the famous producer to provide some details on the heavily long-rumored Boba Fett anthology film. So we have a reporter just happening to ask Kathleen Kennedy at some type of event, and then he tweeted, not even a quote, he just tweets, Kathleen Kennedy just confirmed to me that Boba Fett movie is 100% dead, 100% focused on The Mandalorian, #Star Wars. So that's all...
Wow, that's a big bit. That's
Right.
a big bit of juicy news.
Right. That she probably said in passing in some type of way.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine being at a festival or something, and maybe you come across your friend. Oh, this is my friend Eric, or who was the writer?
Yeah, Eric.
This is my friend Eric. Oh, hi. Hey, Kathleen, it's super nice to meet you. So, what do you think about that Boba Fett movie? I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah,
or
we're
maybe
really
she just
focused
said,
on The Mandalorian
exactly.
right
So she could have just said, "Yeah, we're just like a PR kind of move. Like, oh, we're just focused on the Mandalorian right now." It's
now. 100% confirmed. Boom, right there. But no.
Who knows? Maybe she really trusts this guy. And
Right,
she's like, yeah, I'll just say it.
I don't know enough about him if he's like
Yeah.
a credible person, but that's where this is coming from. But at the same time, a lot of people are even outraged. But at the same time, it wasn't ever announced. So to then say that it's not happening and be mad about it when it was just a rumor to start off with.
Yeah. And to be mad about it. Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone last night. I was at a show, and I mentioned the podcast, shouting out, networking everywhere we go.
Yeah. I have a tattoo right now that says follow Chatter Squadron, and it has all the resources on my forehead.
Got the QR code on there.
Scan my face.
And the first thing that they wanted to talk about was the possibility of a
Oh, man.
Boba Fett movie. It seems to be a popular thing. I think it's just like people hear the name Boba Fett and go, oh, I recognize that. That's Star Wars. And then people say feature film, and they go, oh, I'd be down for that. I know what that is.
And then I go,
So it's very possible that people just are like, oh, yeah, I'm down for that. Oh, they're not making it anymore? Yeah, whatever.
Right. And then some people are like, oh, I'd be super down for that. And then they're not making it. Ah.
Yeah. Sad, but it doesn't mean it's gone forever. I
No.
mean, as far as we know, the world will be consumed by Disney bots, and you'll get all the Star Wars you want when you're being torn apart by machines.
Anyway,
But I can't go for that. No can do.
moving on to the scariest things in Star Wars, other than the scariest things in real life, because that's going to happen.
It will happen.
Unless you
Brush
get
your
the,
teeth.
unless you get the Disney streaming service and put lamb's blood over the top of your front door. That's the only way. You heard it here
so
first,
Mickey
folks.
Mouse will pass over your home.
Yeah. It couldn't be. It would be someone it would be Goofy. Goofy is
You're
like
right.
the angel of death. Oh, God.
He's got the black hood.
Oh my gosh. No.
And that is the true meaning of Halloween, kids.
I am sad we didn't dress as anything from Star Wars.
Yeah. It just kind of didn't work out this year.
Star Wars, though, it's so hard. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of expensive. You can't just go and like buy a shirt.
I like the Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket stormtroopers sometimes.
That's
Those are
true.
creative.
But the one that you sent us the other day, the horse, somebody
Yes.
made an AT-AT, like basically armor for their horse to
Yep.
look like an AT-AT.
And it was great.
That's
it looked
awesome.
so good.
And as a child seeing that, you'd probably be running for the trenches on Hoth right
You
now.
would be. You would be like, firing back, and then you'd blow up.
Yeah. Oh, and more death today on the Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Spooky.
I'm gonna
Children
add
dying.
lightning effects every once in a while.
Oh, really? Every once in a while. Just talking about like normal stuff. Just Alrighty. So like I said, I wrote this article that'll be coming out when you listen to this the day of, because you listen to it right when it comes out. It'll be releasing tomorrow, the 31st, on Halloween, and it is currently titled The Top 10 Most Frightening Beings in the Star Wars Galaxy. So, preface with this, and this is some insider knowledge here, I wish that I could go and pick the most terrifying things just like off the shelf in terms of like, you know, any Darth is pretty terrifying, you know, stormtroopers in general are pretty terrifying. So I wish I could just go and go and go, but I tried to make it a diverse, like, oh, here's a couple Force users, some big beasts, you know, that type of thing.
I see that we have a diverse list.
Right. So I could make several lists of scariest Sith or scariest soldiers or whatever, but this is just kind of a wide range, and I have it starting off with number 10. I have the Rancor. That's a little callback to 10 for the win.
I hope we have some listeners that recognize
number 10. The Rancor. So spooky, no. Scary, yes.
definitely.
That thing scared the heck out of me as a child.
I wanted to ask you, where would it rank? It just spitballing here.
Where would it rank?
Where would it rank core as far as a scary moment when you watch Star Wars?
But let's sideline that question for a second. When we do ranking episodes,
okay.
we should be calling them Chatter Squadron Rancor.
This is an excellent idea.
The Chatter Squadron Star Wars Rancor, something like that.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this creative process.
Yes. Okay. Meeting over. Thank you for coming, everybody. Attendance was great.
Doctor.
So, in terms of scary, I would probably say top 2.
I'd say so too.
I don't know what number 1 would be, but this one is definitely when he.
Just the way they filmed it.
When he eats the Gamorrean guard, that freaked me out as a kid.
The squealing, yeah. Ben Burt, you stinker. You scared the pants off me as a little kid. Where
right.
And it just gets munched on. It's like you and Steven Spielberg, you both ruined a lot of pairs of pants when I was a kid. I peed a lot.
I know. You still do.
I still do.
Good for you,
I gotta
man.
change halfway through the show.
That's why we take breaks. People always wonder.
Oh, it was Mike's pants break.
Yeah, pants break. So the
Really
Rancor, it's gigantic. They're usually like a standard one. I think the one in Jabba's palace was a little bigger, but they're usually 16 feet tall, and they're usually more than 2,000 pounds. And of course, they're mostly neck. You know what I mean?
They're neck muscles. Oh my God!
I think they could. Didn't Luke put like a bone in its mouth that couldn't close?
Yeah. Well, it couldn't for a moment, but its jaw, its jaw strength is just like, I'm just gonna crush this bone.
Right. Here's the last thing I said about it in my article, which was if we happen to run into one of these in our actual lifetime, let's all hope that they're standing under some type of heavy gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only weakness it has.
Right. And hopefully you have good aim.
Yeah.
Anything adjacent to you.
Just the way they filmed that scene made me so scared.
So scared. And I always talk up that whole beginning sequence as being really cool, especially Luke, like being this kind of ominous figure at this point in his life, and you can tell that was not part of his plan at all.
Not at all.
And then in this part of the plan, like a lot of people were like, all right, Leia, you're gonna get captured and turned into a slave and all this stuff, but in this part of the plan, I'm gonna fall down into the Rancor pit and I'm gonna just kill him. Don't worry about it, I'm cool. And then I'll do the backflip and catch the lightsaber.
This was my plan all along. Thanks, R2. You're the only one that executed your job flawlessly.
And serve drinks at the same time.
I mean, he found time to serve drinks.
All right, and number 9, the attendants. So this was something I wanted to throw in because they're a little off the beaten path. They are these almost, speaking of Christmas, these like ghosts of Christmas future type looking things. They're almost like purple and and ghastly, and they just have these eyes that like look at you, and they are in The Last Jedi. If you look to the side in Snoke's throne room, you see them looking through that big looking glass thing.
Yes, those.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking about them online. They're like,
Yeah.
tell us more about these creeps. They're real scary.
Apparently, they are from the unknown regions. And
Unknown region.
yeah, don't send me back there. They're so unknown. The unknown regions, and Snoke has them there because they know like the star hyperdrive pathways that nobody else knows.
Wow.
So they're kind of there at that looking glass thing, kind of just being like, yeah, let's go this way. What if that's what their voices sounded like? Hey, do you think we can get through here in hyperspace? Hey, Snoke, you done with that Kylo guy? I think we need to make a right. Everything's on fire in here. That's almost like a tired Christopher Walken you're doing there.
Hey, everyone's on fire in the throne room. I'm a skedaddle. That was Christopher Walken as one of Snoke's little attendants.
They have the money. They could get him for
Why
next
not?
time.
You know? Why not?
I mean, you have Daniel Craig as a stormtrooper. Yeah. You can't get Christopher Walken as the Ghost of Christmas Future.
I think he would do great as a stormtrooper. Yes, sir. And then like, hey, was that Christopher? And it takes you out of the whole movie.
Like Kylo actually says that in the movie. Was that Christopher Walken?
And
number 8, the Colo clawfish. My speech impediment will not let me say that correctly.
Colo clawfish?
The Colo clawfish.
You did it, my friend.
Wow. There's too many L's and vowels there. This is the thing.
I wish it's not from Colombia.
Colombia. The Colombian Colo clawfish. Cologne. Anyway, so this is the thing when in episode 1 when they're in their like little driving pod in the planet's core. When they finally turn the lights on and there's this giant beast thing with like this snapping mouth. Mm-hmm. As a kid, it freaked me the heck out. I remember that. That might be like number 3 in terms of kid being freaked out.
Right.
But yeah, this giant thing chasing them. It's a really good design if you ask me, with like these big pincer things that like look like they would probably be used to scoop things up into its giant mouth.
Right.
It's 40 meters long.
Duh.
Right.
Anything big and underwater, just count me out.
How do you feel about underwater?
I'm terribly aquaphobic.
Oh, yeah?
I am frightened of anything that I can't observe beneath my feet. Even in like a lake, I like a wakeboard and boat.
Yeah.
But if I'm just floating there, I'm like,
Oof.
what is here?
No, you have no clue.
And it's like it's an irrational fear that I won't get over.
I don't think it's an irrational fear because I'm right there with you. Because people who love
there's power in numbers.
People who love the ocean, I'm like, dude, we know more about the moon than we do about the ocean. I am not going out there. This is what I said in this. The last part of it, I said, measuring more than 40 meters long and with teeth the size of a human, this creature ensures that it will be staying off the beach for quite some time, just in case they made it to Earth.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because I also don't like the ocean. I don't like the beach.
You don't like the beach either.
Yeah.
The beach I can handle.
The reason why I don't like the beach, and now we're talking more about the beach than we're talking about the Colo clawfish. It's just like I feel like I'm just sitting out in like a barren wasteland in the middle of the sun, just like baking there.
I see.
I can understand.
So it's less to do with the devilish evil creatures that lurk in the sea.
No, well, it's an added thing. It's like sitting next to like a pack of lions to me, and expecting to like read a book with sunglasses and a sun hat on.
Sharks truly are the worst of them because I have no problem with like these deep sea fish.
Okay, yeah.
Think about an anglerfish. It's like a nightmare turned into a real thing. But you'll never see one ever because there's no reason for.
And it would
die.
It would die immediately
when it came to the surface.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like that's nothing I have to worry about. But sharks, I don't care if it's a mistake. if a shark bites my leg off and goes, "Oh, oops," it still bit my leg
Right.
off.
Rancors are kind of like sharks too, all
Yeah.
neck. All neck.
Oh, so terrifying.
Sharks are just teeth with fins.
Ooh.
And number 7, the poor gullet.
Poor gullet.
The poor gullet will
We know the truth.
we will know the truth because of the boar gullet. The boar gullet is from Rogue One. It is the slimy boy,
Ooh, boy.
that sneaks up and pulls all the thoughts out of that pilot.
Were you ready for that part of that movie?
I was like, what is happening at this point?
Me too. I was so confused.
I love that whole way they started that storyline though, of him like being basically a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
And him having this vital information and they have zero want for it.
Mhm.
You know, Saul Guerrero was just like, you're Imperial. I'm just going to torture you. He's like, but I'm helpful.
I'm trying to
I'm
give you
trying
this
to
useful
help.
information.
The ball gullet will get it from you.
Yeah.
So what's freaky to me, I don't like things that steal your brain. That's just
Definitely. Okay, dude, I saw a horrible movie called The Lights or something. I
Okay.
don't remember. But it was terrible, and the whole process was these aliens came to Earth, and to power their machines, their armor machines, they ripped the brains out of humans.
Oh,
turned
yeah.
them, oh, so scary. So, yeah, anything to do with, like, sucking brains or sucking information from a brain. Ugh, no
well,
thanks.
let's move on to number 6, the Anzadi.
Oof.
This is the resident vampire of the Star Wars universe. Anzadi, they're basically just normal humans, right? They kind of have bat-like noses. If you look at a couple of them, their nose is kind of like pushed up. So they look a lot like humans, but they have these, I forget what they're actually called. Let me look for proboscises.
Oh.
Ugh, just that word doesn't sound right.
Proboscis.
On either side of their mouth, and basically they're tentacles that they can eject, and that they would go into people's nostrils,
Oh.
and they would drain their life force from their brain.
Oh no!
That's how they fed.
Are they bipeds? What do they look like?
They're just normal like people, like I said, like that.
What?
But their noses are kind of pushed up a little bit, and then these like kind of raised cheeks because
Ugh.
those things come out. And they usually feed on animals and whatnot like that. But
Usually.
sometimes,
Oh my god!
and they're kind of force sensitive, and they're like naturally evil.
Are there a lot of them in the galaxy? How have I
Yeah.
not heard of them before?
I think we may have talked about one of the famous ones on a
Was he a
different
Jedi?
show. He was a Jedi, and he
that might
took
be why.
Ayla Secura, like he brainwashed her, and then Quinlan Voss came and
Good old
beat
Quinlan
him.
Voss. Quinlan Voss is like the Lone Ranger.
Quinlan Voss is like Castlevania, like the what's
yes.
what's that dude's name?
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Not Vincent, but something.
yeah, but he, going and slaying monsters. That
Yeah.
Quinlan Voss.
Ah, we love you, Quinlan.
But
Moving on.
I like the Anzadi. It's a cool name, but
Yes.
let's move to number 5, Star Weird.
Star Weird.
Star Weird. I don't like that name, but they're really cool looking. They're basically like zombies in space. They have this hanging flesh with. They basically just look like a 4 slabs of flesh with like a skeleton, and then this crazy like face. Let me just. It's hard to explain, and I can't really do it like this, so I'll just read my passage verbatim. I say, what an odd name for something this horrifying. Star Weirds were creatures that only existed in the vacuum of space, appearing to mostly spacers and sometimes Jedi. They would emit a telepathic scream to their victims. Appearing to possess a strong hate for Force users, many believe that they were created by the dark side itself. While they don't appear in the universe often, their toothy mouth, glowing eyes, and tattered skin will ensure they will be appearing in your nightmares.
Oh, that is truly terrifying.
So something in the vacuum of space. Say you're just working on the outside of your ship, and all of a sudden this thing floats by that starts screaming into your head.
I can't go for that.
Yeah.
Oh, no can do.
We talk about how cool it would be to be in the Star Wars universe a lot. But
Yeah.
something like that where you're just trying to go like get a leaf off of your windshield wiper, it's blocking your view a little bit, and all of a sudden a guy creeps up and is going,
This deathly cry. Now, the funny thing that you read or you said about that is it was probably created by the dark side itself, but it affects all Force users. So it's just indiscriminate in its torture.
yeah.
How horrible.
The dark side,
Excuse me.
the dark side likes to just make things. The
Yes.
Force just likes to make things. It was like, let's make Anakin.
That's kind of why I was like a little bit confused as to the message that was sent by the dark side that was embodied by that son of the.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's not truly evil, but
No.
the dark side really is pretty evil.
Right. We'll be getting to to that in a little bit here. Number 4, the Wrath Tar. So from episode 7, the big balls, basically,
Ooh, those things.
with all the eyes and all the teeth and all the tentacles. They are apparently just killing machines.
Wow, they're just like meant to
They're
destroy.
just meant to just devour everything.
They seem to do a good job.
That's why it was like such a you're hauling Rathtars, and also Han kind of sacrificing his crew to get Rathtars. I always thought like, wow, Han, dang.
Yeah, kind of a dick move.
Yeah, definitely. And Chewie just kind of did that like head tilt.
Well, I already knew I was gonna live through it, so.
Chewie, you sound so different now in episode 7. I would hate episode 7 with some people if Chewie was just like, hey, I mean, I'm just doing what I can.
Just Wookieing around, you know?
Whatever, I'm done with that.
He's real chill.
Yeah, he's really chill, and he's wearing clothes,
Yeah, he's got a vest, too.
drinking coffee.
My vest is cooler. It's got more pockets.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't even know what that means anymore. We'll move on here because I want to get to number 1 because we teased you teased it a little bit and you didn't even know it.
But before that comes
Number
3.
3, Mother Talzin. So for the people who haven't watched the Clone Wars, Mother Talzin is terrifying. That's all you really need to know.
So terrifying, and I love her.
She's awesome.
She is one of the bright spots of the Clone Wars. Every time she was in an episode, I looked forward to it.
And the design of her, the voice,
Brilliant idea.
why can't I think of what that would be called? The voice.
Echoing chorus?
Yeah.
It was really a chorus. It was a lower version of the voice actor accompanying.
It basically sounded like a demon was saying all the words she was also saying.
Yeah. Like
and
she
then-
wasn't really her.
And she barely was her. Like
Yeah.
she would be floating along, and her clothes were constantly moving.
Right.
Like the spikes on her dress were like constantly flipping back and forth. But no, she was basically a witch. She's a witch. And
She's a witch.
and she had all the witch stuff too.
She
Like
turned me into a newt. I got better.
let's be honest, she had like all of the standard witch stuff though. She had
did,
like
yeah.
a crystal ball.
Yeah.
She had like a cauldron basically.
Everything was covered in smoke. A cauldron, yes. A table with candles.
Oh, voodoo dolls.
Voodoo dolls.
You're right.
Yeah, she did all the typical witchy stuff.
But with all of that, like that's freaky. Like
Yes.
she was able to like make Count Dooku deathly ill from light years away with a voodoo doll, basically.
Pretty good.
And then she also brought Maul back to life. She created Savage Opress. She did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she turned him into like even scarier monster. He was
Savage?
Savage, like just absolutely terrifying.
She was like, "You're cool, but we're gonna make you a foot taller and about 300 more pounds."
It was like his Dragon Ball Z transformation.
Right. This isn't even my final form.
Yeah.
Savage Opress, yes. I don't know. But no, so she's really cool, and I want to see more, probably on the big screen at some point.
Oh man, can
Like
you imagine?
her or just witchery in general.
Guess who should play her? Angelina Jolie. She's already got the Maleficent.
Whoa.
And she's just a great actress.
And she has great bone structure.
Totally.
Because Mother Talzin is a very angular face.
Or perhaps Kate Blanchett, who
Oh.
played Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings series.
Man, yeah.
A lot of great options.
We should do another a different cast
Oh,
episode.
fan casting? Well,
where
we haven't done a second
recast.
one of those, so we definitely should.
Right. But before that, and before
The first one
right.
comes
Number 2,
2.
Darth Vader. Come on. Darth Vader had to
He's
be
so
on this.
scary.
He's so spooky.
He's right here. He's right behind us.
Gosh. He made me add this. He's like, "Are you going to I was just kind of looking over your shoulder and yeah, man. I'll
Well,
totally
you'll be on
have
the
you."
list, bro.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Really number 8? Sorry.
That's
Typo.
our
I meant to
mistake.
say 3, 2. And he's like, "What's number 1?" I'm like, "Oh, you'll have to wait for that as well, Vader." A lot of kids say they were scared of Vader when he first appeared. I don't really remember being like afraid of him, but a lot of people, like especially online, were like, "Oh, Vader is freaky. He freaked me out."
My very first memory of Vader is his entry in A New Hope, where he just emerges through this hole that was blown in the on the wall by skeleton creatures.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he observes all the dead bodies. He goes, "This pleases me," basically,
Right.
and then moves on.
And then he chokes somebody to death.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, his design is great. Looking at him, though, like as a full-grown adult, you can look at him and be like, man, that's a crazy design for somebody.
Totally.
Like a crazy thought to have this big black suit and a cape and these like...
The mask looks... Why does it look this certain way?
Right, it's almost like a samurai mask
Yeah.
and that type of thing, but it's iconic. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more iconic in Star Wars than Vader's mask.
Definitely not.
Right.
Maybe just the silhouette of Yoda.
And that's true. And but there's also, I put down in my article, which you can go read, how crazy it was the way he became Vader. And he basically killed everybody he's ever known. So that's a little scary.
Pretty dark.
Right.
Very Halloween-y.
Very Halloween-y. Oh, like the movie?
Yes.
Vader is kind of like Jason.
He kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this looming, ever-present...
Is that the correct? No. Michael Myers.
Oh, you could do either one. I mean, they're almost the identical creature.
Right.
Just you can't run away. They'll always find you.
Looming, slowly walking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did in Empire Strikes Back, like we've talked about. It's basically shot like a horror movie.
Yes.
Vader is like sneaking out and like taunting him and just this immovable force.
The way the camera's always over his shoulder and he's like 8 foot tall.
Right. And Luke is on the ground.
He
like,
looks
"Ugh."
tiny, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like he's like a Frankenstein as well.
He basically
Very
is Frankenstein. Right. But here's something that's even scarier, in my opinion. Number 1, Abeloth, which is also known as the Mother. So you brought up the son earlier. She's the Mother. Basically, what Calhoun was referencing was a Clone Wars, several episodes about the embodiments of the Force, basically being this 3-person family, father, son, and daughter. And after that came out and before the Disney buyout, there was a whole comic, book series. It was a book series about this new creature, Abeloth, which was the Mother. Basically, she was a mortal who basically was their servant, and then they took a liking to her, and she became the Mother because she would dictate what's going on because the son and daughter were always warring with each other, being the light and the dark. And then as she got older, she wanted to also not die like they did. So what she did was, and it's very like Greek mythology-esque, she, let me find it. Oh, she drank from the font of power and bathed in the pool of knowledge. But the issue was that she was not already an immortal. So the Force basically just ripped her apart and turned her into the Force horror Abeloth. She has all these tentacles. She's like super powerful, but one of the biggest qualities about her was she had a Chelsea grin, which is
Jeez.
the mouth from ear to ear.
Jeez.
And let me just list off some of the things she's
Whew.
able to do in the Force. Through the Force, she was able to make people go insane from light years away. Basically, what she would do is she would put the thought in somebody's head that they had to find her and give them clues on how to find her for them to just arrive. That's like the only thing they would do for them to arrive, and then she would just suck the life from them.
Oh my good
super
God.
super spooky. I believe in the story that's what like started cluing them in, is these people disappearing.
I was gonna say, yeah. How did this? Yeah, I'd like to read this series now.
Me too, honestly.
It seems very scary.
So let's see. She was able to do that, drain the life from beings, release torrents of force lightning, create waves of force energy that caused explosions, and so much more. But this is the thing. She was described as a living force volcano and was cited as being 12 times more powerful in the Force than Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
Basically, she was just she wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
She was just an embodiment of the Force itself.
Jeez.
Just like a storm inside of a person.
I'll tell you what. I've played a lot of JRPGs in my time, and that sounds exactly like what the final boss creature is, because it's like one of your companions, who's a mere mortal, tried to have all the power in the world.
Seriously.
And they became this creature, and they were corrupt.
Well, you have to face the son and the daughter,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
father, and then you face this little old lady, and then she turns into Abeloth.
Yeah.
Or no, that would
Very
be
final. Yeah, that sounds like Pokemon. Yeah. Very Final Fantasy.
Sephiroth. So
Very
that's
scary.
that's my list. Abeloth is, in my opinion, a little scarier than Darth Vader.
Oh man, it's downplayed how scary that is, because if that was turned into a real story with just all these people going missing, those are people have families and
Right.
Oh, it's so terrifying.
That would be a great, like, if they made a show about like Clone Wars, but for the New Republic era, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a great final season. Is
Oh, wow.
characters that like say Rex in Clone Wars, he's missing. Fives is missing.
Wow.
Even
yeah.
Barris. I mean, no, she turned evil. Spoiler alert. But Barris, like a random Jedi, she's missing. Like all that stuff, and that turns out to be.
That'd be real scary. Wow.
All right.
An epic conclusion.
So we're gonna wrap it up in a second, but I wanted to look at some of what other people have said is freaky to them. So I posed a question about who is the scariest character in all of Star Wars. And I'm going to start with Cameron White, so people know that I'm not the only one who thinks this. He says Abeloth, no doubt. No doubt in
I'm glad he
Cameron's
agrees.
mind. Jody Lee, I believe, says Jar Jar Binks. I guess kind of scary.
Jar Jar Binks. I guess maybe. I guess if he scared you, like he surprised you and you didn't know he was there, you'd
Right.
definitely freak out.
Definitely.
Are you on this Facebook? I'm on the Instagram.
I'm on the Facebook.
All right, I can do one from the Instagram.
Go for it.
We've got one from Snack Kendrick says, Asajj, bruh, she mad freaky. Asajj is pretty scary.
I
now,
wouldn't- yeah.
If Asajj was coming at me and she was intent on killing me, I'd be terrified because she's going to succeed.
Right, yeah, she is also like a loose cannon, and you don't even know if you could trust her, even if you
Yeah.
were around her.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she has a crazy childhood. Yeah, all bad things.
Yeah, but she's got crazy dad issues. That's the craziest, right?
James Ballardini says 2003 Clone Wars General Grievous. Very scary in the cartoon.
How about maybe you can tell me, clue me in as to who this is. Sam Kumar 263, excuse me. Says
That's one of our followers on Instagram.
No, this person. That
What he
suggest-
says. Okay.
The person that they say Luleo Primoc.
Oh, no clue. Just that name is scary enough to
That
pronounce.
is scary. I'll have to look him up or her.
Joseph Hatem. Wow. Joseph Hatem says, Boar Gullet knows the truth.
Boar Gullet knows the truth.
Boar Gullet. You can't say Boar Gullet in any other way.
No, there's no, that's why I didn't know what the real name was, because when I wanted to ask people, I had to do Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
What's that creature name? You know the thing, the thing from Boar Gullet.
Oh, yeah, Boar Gullet.
No, what's its real name? That's what he's saying.
Boar Gullet.
Boar Gullet.
I'll do a couple more here. Patrick Peter says sand.
The number one enemy of
Yeah.
of the greatest Jedi. Catman Joe says Maul concept or Abeloth.
Oh, the
Maul
Maul
concept is truly terrifying.
Right.
It's really scary.
It's the basically the skeleton with dreads, with red dreads. Yeah.
That connected to his body though.
Ugh. So here's the last one I will do. Willie O'Halloran says, and this was something I played with putting on there too. He said probably Palpatine. Not scary in appearance, but more in terms of power and knowledge.
I have to agree. Palpatine definitely gave me the creeps, and I think he was meant to.
Yep. And keeping him a secret, like the whole saga, basically. Very good. I'm happy he turned his life around and wrote that self-help book.
Yeah. Once he moved to Canada and started his farm, he really, really focused on the positives.
Oh, yeah, and it's Halloween season, so his candy corn crop is probably booming right now.
Well, good luck with that, Palps. I'm glad. I hope this was a good season.
Yeah, and I hope it's a good Halloween for all of you listeners, and very spooky in the good ways.
Yeah, if we've really commercialized scary things, haven't we?
Right.
But if you're really scared this Halloween, good.
Yeah.
But also get help, I guess.
Right. After Halloween, be sure to get emotional
Yeah, once
support.
Halloween is completed, then get the proper help and be like, look, I was scared, but it was Halloween, so I didn't know who to call. I wanted to call Ghostbusters, but I found out that was just a movie yesterday.
And that's what scared me.
So my whole and that was what it did. So my whole outlook on life has just been really tortured.
So hopefully you're not being really tortured right now. Or maybe you are. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be awful.
You should probably press the pause button.
Please don't use our podcast as a torture device.
I know it's happened, and I'm so sorry.
It is frowned upon.
But what's not frowned upon is the fact that we'll be back here next week.
See ya.
Bye.
We're doomed.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening. And if you're looking for ways to support us, the absolute best way is to tell a friend. Subscribe to us on iTunes, as well as any other place that great podcasts can be found. Find us on social media at Chatter Squadron, and we'll be looking forward to reaching you every Tuesday.